What's good, Wrestling Games fans? Welcome back to the channel. God bless. Thank you for rocking with your boy. This one's gonna be different because it's not necessarily AEW Fight Forever video, not necessarily a WWE 2K video. It's more of an overall wrestling games discussion. And the topic of today is submission gameplay. For those of you who have been around for a little while, first of all, thank you. That support is truly appreciated, seriously. But y'all know that my love for these games are deeply rooted in the gameplay and the mechanics and features that go into them. And with that being said, I just want the most accurate gameplay experience I can get. And what I'm starting to realize is that it's not so much an arcade versus simulation debate. It's more so about creativity and attention to detail when it comes to all aspects of professional wrestling. Unfortunately, when it comes to submission gameplay, it always seems like that feature that has to take one for the team. It's never been shown that love and close attention to detail like a lot of the other features. For example, we need to look no further than WWE 2k23. Let's take a look at the pinfall feature. Not only does it have options when it comes to gameplay and accessibility, like seriously, there's like 3 different pinfall minigames. And on top of that, they give you a bunch of options and sliders so that you can tweak the pinfall minigame and customize it so that it performs to your liking. But if that wasn't enough, it's also prevalent in a lot of aspects of gameplay. Along with standard pinfalls, we also have the leverage pin system that comes with a cool little back and forth minigame. We have the pin combo feature that allows you to go directly into a pinfall after certain moves. We even have certain reversals that leads to a pinfall. Dare I say there are even submission escapes that lead to pinfalls. But you know what's probably the biggest slap in the face? Is the fact that you can actually grab the ropes during a pinfall if you're close enough to the ropes. They legit have rope break animations for pinfalls. So let me get this straight. We get nothing. No animations in terms of submission rope breaks. The feature that actually needs and could benefit from animations like this. But instead we opt to use it for the pinfall. So nobody on the dev team thought that, hey, maybe this might be a cool feature to extend to the submission gameplay. It's just crazy to me that we have all this love and attention to detail when it comes to pinfalls, but yet when it comes to submissions, all we get is a button mash fest. And just for the sake of clarity, this is not just a 2K issue. They are not the only ones guilty of this tap or escape mindset when it comes to submissions. Because judging by the gameplay that we've seen so far, AEW Fight Forever has adopted this exact same philosophy. And if we're being honest, man, this just feels like a huge disservice. Outside of pinfall, submissions are legit one of the only other ways that you can end a match. If we keeping it solid, man, some of the greatest wrestling matches of all time have ended by submission. Some of the greatest wrestlers of all time actually use submissions as their primary way to end matches. Matter of fact, I would go as far as to say that when it comes to guys like Samoa Joe or a Kurt Angle, their submission skills is heavily tied to their persona. So I think we can all agree that submissions are a huge part of what makes professional wrestling so special. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's both confused and disappointed at the lack of progression when it comes to this feature. And look, I could legit talk to you guys all day about concepts on how to make the submission system better. I have text documents dating back to the SmackDown vs. Raw days, like seriously. When I tell y'all I love these games, man, that's not cap or exaggeration. But in this video, I wanted to put a pause on the how. I'm even going to put a hold on the if and when this feature is ever going to receive its day in the sun. So I guess the burning question for the day is why? Why is this feature so overlooked? Why won't any dev teams put any time and resources into making this feature better? Especially when we have technology that allows for some pretty amazing creations, not just in the wrestling games world, but just gaming in general. But yet we have games that are over a decade old with far better submission mechanics than anything the current generation of wrestling games has yet to offer. Now, to be fair, as a former game design student myself, I try to look at these features through the lens of functionality, scale, and value. And I also try my best not to fall into the trap of looking at things as a simple fix or an easy implementation. Because I ain't even gonna hold y'all, man. Coding to me had legendary hands. Coding folded me like fresh laundry. Bro, I remember an assignment they gave us where we had to debug a level. I tried to debug a door to open and close, and the entire bottom of the level fell out.
Stop the cap. But wait, there's more.
This is a level I designed when I was in school, and I can honestly say I've never been more proud and ashamed at the same time. This was a team assignment and we each had to design a portion of the ship. They gave us I think a month to complete this, and for the first 3 weeks everything was going pretty decent. But I guess some of the assets that we were using did not agree with the Unity program, and it wiped everything. Well, not everything, but it took out a lot. Like everything y'all see in the video is supposed to be textured, everything from the walls to the tables, chairs, all of that should have had textures on it, but it stripped everything away. And because some of the coding was associated with those assets, it broke a lot of the functions and commands, so nothing worked like it was supposed to. Yeah, I failed the class. Cool story, bro, I know. But I say all that to say that when 2K said they had to remove a lot of the stuff due to coding issues, as a fan of the series, I'm like, man, that's trash. But as a game design student, I get it. When community creations and custom attires was causing the game to crash, I get it. Look, I'm not here trying to play devil's advocate for 2K shortcomings, or mine for that matter. But when features like chain wrestling, working holds, strike battles, and of course the primary topic of this video, submission gameplay, either get sent to the gulags or show no signs of life or the promise of ever getting any better, it always comes back to the question of why? In the past, when 2K was the only show in town, we used to could point to lack of competition as a reason. But now with the arrival of AEW Fight Forever within a week's time, and other titles like the Wrestling Code and Ultra Violent Pro Wrestling on the horizon, I think the wrestling games landscape is in as good a shape it has ever been. So now that we can scratch off the lack of competition issue off the list, is it a technical or skills limitation? Is it lack of attention to detail? Or is it simply laziness that attributes to the reason why certain features don't get the love and care that they maybe deserve? Wrestling games fans, the floor is yours. Let me know what you think about this matter. And how do you feel about the current state of the wrestling games landscape? Do you feel like we're in good hands, or is it too early to tell? Do me a favor, if you rock with the content, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Share this video as well. I would love to get as many people as I could in on this. Subscribe if you haven't already. God over everything, love above all. And remember, be a blessing to somebody.